The journey of self-discovery is the most important journey we can take. In this episode, we're talking about the secret weapon of any successful relationship: communication. That's right, it's time to put the phone down and start talking. And trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll go away with the necessary tools to make conversations that bit easier. Hi, and welcome back to our series on being a graceful woman. In this episode, we're talking about the importance of communication in relationships, whether it's with a partner, a family member, or a friend. Communication is key to building strong, healthy relationships. So, let's dive in and start by discussing some tips for effective relationship. Communication is rooted in self-expression. So, here are 6 tips to enhance your own self-expression skills. 1. Speak your truth in the present moment. Rather than thinking back on a conversation and wishing that you had been more honest and authentic, decide to be more honest and authentic in that moment, in the present. Promise yourself that you will speak your truth when the opportunity arises, but you will also do so with love and kindness towards yourself. 2. Define yourself broadly. Someone said, the self is not something that one finds, it's something that one creates. You are allowed to create yourself time and time over. Something we make. Keep yourself open to new experiences, talents, new interests, new passions, and even opportunities, just to make sure that your definitions of who you are and who you choose to be are not narrow or self-limiting. Have a grand version of yourself. Fall in love with all the possibilities of you. 3. Use creative techniques. Keep a daily diary or a daily journal in which you write about anything that comes to your mind. Carrying an idea book with you at all times can really help. When it pops into your mind, get a pen and put it down on paper. Making mind maps also helps you problem solve. Practice brainstorming. Have several brainstorming sessions with yourself and construct a lot of vision boards. They will help to push you to achieve your ambitions. All these are just good tools to generate good ideas for you. 4. Acquire self-knowledge. To me, that means learn. And while you're at it, learn about you. Take time to study yourself as a person. Know who you are, not just the daughter of who you are. Don't let yourself get caught up in all of life's little worries. Take a break from your daily grind once in a while and assess your life and your feelings about it. What do you think about the life you're living? Would you like to change it? Can you label your life? Can you give it a word? Use introspection and reflection to make sure that you never become a stranger to yourself. 5. Follow your desires and interests with energy and passion. If your interests and goals have been subjected to day-to-day concerns and you keep placing them on the back burner every time, well, isn't it high time you commit to keeping them off that back burner? Make time to follow your aspirations, make time to follow your dreams, and nurture your interest. You won't be sorry for it, I promise you. Nothing is impossible and everything is figure-outable. That's a new word. 6. Develop a keen sense of reality. You see, your head may go into the clouds, but your feet should always stay firmly on the ground. Keep in touch with reality. Not the life on social media. Leave the dreamland alone. There is no one there with you. Learn to face your disappointments. Learn to face your setbacks and even unpleasant experiences head on. Once you face them, you can deal with them. No one is coming to save you. You have to be there for yourself. Now that we have your self-expression pat down and sorted, let's move into the world of communicating with other people now. When it comes to communicating with other people, you need a pen and paper. No, grab a notebook. I have 7 tips for you. 1. Listen actively. One of the most common mistakes that we make when communicating is that we're not fully listening to what the other person is saying. Let others talk. Not only will you learn a lot by them sharing their story, but you will also get to practice listening skills. You're not wasting your time by listening. You're giving space for proper conversation and communication to take place. Actively listen to what the other person is saying and answer appropriately. 2, avoid jumping to conclusions and assuming you know what someone else is thinking or feeling. Let them talk. Let them finish what they have to say. If we don't, it can often lead to misunderstandings and damaged feelings. Instead, ask questions and explain any points that are unclear to you. 3, when it comes to your turn, talk with meaning and conviction. You see, women's voices can help them gain authority. Pitch, projection, and tempo are 3 most important factors to consider. You see, sing-songy voices can get steamrolled in critical meetings, especially in a corporate environment where masculine vocal range is very dominant. Women's voices are naturally higher than men's. Therefore, try as much as possible to lower your pitch by pushing out your voice. Take care not to raise it to the point that it sounds like you're yelling. No, end your sentences at the same or lower tone than they began. When it comes to pace, pause to add emphasis to your sentence or statements. Don't rush through your content, quickly moving from one idea to the next. No, instead, pause to let each idea sink into your audience. Remember, it's Bond, James Bond. Number 4, be clear and concise. When expressing yourself, use clear and precise language, straight to the point. Avoid using passive language or even going around in circles. Since this can lead to confusion and irritation, you don't want to lose your audience to that. So simply get straight to the point, then be brief, be bright, and be gone. That's just the way you do it. 5, avoid criticizing and blaming other people. It is never an effective way of communicating. Nobody ever gains anything from it. Instead, concentrate on communicating your own thoughts. Speak your mind and do it in a non-judgmental manner. 6, make no apologies. Yes, we women tend to have a tendency to over-apologize. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, saying sorry too often and unnecessarily does not come off as particularly nice. No, people tend to look down on people like that. Rather, it will dilute your entire message and presence. You don't want that. And sometimes it can be even much more expensive. If you're requesting a deadline extension, for instance, at work, or you're even requesting a raise, the last thing you want to do is to start your presentation with, "I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, can I have a raise?" See, an apology is occasionally required. Yes, maybe when you're going to into a cafe and someone spills coffee on you. Yes, apologize. Most business choices and acts do not require one. So understand your audience and your context and your environment and move on. 7, if you really want to sound polished, avoid filler words. It's like, yeah, genuinely, basically, simply, so, honestly, literally. The list goes on and on. These bothersome little words, they tend to find their way into our, our speaking languages, our descriptions, our presentation, and even everyday talk that we make. Even if we don't realize it, we all have at least one filler word. I do. I have several. And I think part of it is the reason why I created this YouTube channel, knowing that it will force me to speak and to avoid my filler words. It will not take any more time or effort to snip them or to cut them out of your vocabulary. See, I've got 2 techniques for you to try and eliminate your filler words. 1, identify your filler words. You can't break a habit if you don't know what it is, right? So grab your phone, record a voicemail to yourself, and then listen back to it. Take notes on the filler words that you hear. I know it sounds ridiculous, but examples of filler words can include things I've read out before, like just, really, honestly, basically, literally. I can go on. Now, the second thing you want to do is then start practicing pause. When you pause, you instinctively drop the filler words. It will just disappear from your mind. Now, make another voicemail and take your time stopping. Try to pause for longer than it feels natural. Yes, it's okay. See, an example of a pause lasts around half a second. Extend it to 2 to 3 seconds, and then you grow from there. Over time, you will completely eliminate filler words from your vocabulary. Ladies, now let's discuss the significance, the benefits of communication in relationships. In relationships, communications tend to help us to maintain trust. Communication is the bedrock of any relationship. You can't be with another human if you're not talking to them. It has to be open. It has to be honest on both sides in order for it to foster trust and deepen the connection that you both have. Secondly, communication helps to resolve conflict. You see, a lot of disagreements and misunderstandings that happen in relationship is normal, but effective communication can help to resolve them. You can reach an agreement that works for both sides by talking through your thoughts and your worries, even your feelings. 3. Communication improves understanding. When you communicate effectively, you're able to understand each other's perspectives and needs. This can lead to a deeper connection and a stronger relationship. 4. It increases intimacy. Oh my goodness. If you can communicate an aspect of closeness in your partnership, when you open up and express your ideas and your feelings with somebody else, you tend to create an emotional closeness and you strengthen the bond between the two of you. Now, effective communication is essential for building strong, healthy relationships. Remember to listen actively, avoid assuming, be clear and concise, and avoid criticizing other people or even blaming them. You will not grow from doing that. But most of all, please remember that communication starts from self-expression. You have to be prepared to do the work to express yourself, understand yourself, know yourself. And I wish you well. Until next one, be graceful.